The Spirit is sending a cease and desist to Beyoncé after night one of the Beyoncé Cowboy Carter Tour. And night two of the Cowboy Carter Tour in Los Angeles, someone's getting fired because they had multiple mishaps.
Here we go now.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So let's first talk about night two of the Cowboy Carter Tour. Tomorrow will be the third night of Beyoncé's very successful tour for her latest project, Cowboy Carter. Everyone had said night one, fantastic. Night two, a lot of you were hitting me up and saying, Kempire, did you see the concert had a lot of mishaps, from the screens not working to Beyonce almost getting hit by her robotic arms, the crew dropping the ball when it comes to where they're supposed to put her mark. There were a lot of mishaps, but Beyonce, being the consummate professional, made it through. And a lot of people said, despite that happening, night two was even better than night one. Not only that, Beyonce made a lot of changes to the show from night one to night two, and you already know night three is going to be perfection after night two had all of those mishaps. So Igor on TikTok gave us a full report of all the things that went down or went wrong during night two of Beyonce's Cowboy Carter Tour in Los Angeles.
Y'all know Beyonce is firing people at this very moment. So we are all leaving the stadium and I'm about to let y'all know what's been going on at night two of Cowboy Carter Tour, which I lost my voice first one. I had to get some sleep before I can finish this video, but you know who did not get sleep? Beyonce, because she stayed up all night and at 6 a.m. somebody has seen her rehearsing the show. Before I get into everything that went wrong last night, let's talk about the good parts. So she added 4 of her hit songs on top: Single Ladies, Irreplaceable, If I Were a Boy. She also did cut the outro of Thick, which is the All Up In Your Mind, the beginning of All Up In Your Mind. So there is no longer that fan moment. This does not exist in the show anymore. So you can watch the full video on my profile. I have it. I guess it's going to be exclusive. I don't think she's ever going to repeat this. And people said it's probably because of the fans, how close they got to her hair. And she probably got some flashbacks from you know which moment. Also changed a lot of the visuals. Like for the Renaissance, she brought Uncle John. Also brought back the iconic Renaissance screensaver. Also a new visual before this that did not exist on the opening night. Well, now let's talk about all the mess-ups that happened last night, because it's been a lot, okay? And this does not take away from the fact that Beyonce is literally the greatest artist of all time, but the crew that worked got her working until 6 in the morning. So first of all, and probably one of the biggest things that happened throughout the show, is that the screens would be glitching through multiple songs, like many songs. They would just be frozen or something like that. The entire Renaissance section was a complete mess. First of all, look at her hat. It was already lifted. This whole costume did not work properly. They did not bring the stairs on time.
Pause for a second, because it's important, as someone that does live streaming, that has done in-person live shows, things happen all the time. So please understand, when we're talking about this, we're not reveling in this. We understand things happen. But for me, the biggest thing here is that with all of these issues that she was having, that's beyond Beyonce's control in that moment. She still put on a fantastic show. She still moved forward with this show.
She was literally standing there up until I'm That Girl pretty much started. That never happened. By now, first of all, the stairs were already there in all the Renaissance shows and the first opening night. But right now, look, she's like literally standing there. She does not know what's going on. During Cozy, the team forgot to mark the floor. Look at her literally being shocked. She does not know where to stand because those robotic arms can literally knock you out. Look, she's looking at the floor, trying to find where she should stand. And she's looking at the arms. She's like, where am I supposed to be? Even on this POV, you can see she's stepping back when the arm gets close to her. Because once again, look, she's literally like putting her arm in front of her. I'm so scared for her. Also, she was not supposed to hold the microphone in this moment. She was not dancing at all. People also pointed out that the dancers forgot to put on the outfits for the Renaissance section. As you can see, the first night they had the gold one, and everybody, including Beyonce, on the second night has the gold one, but they do not have the gold the rest of the outfits. They do have the same pants, but nothing is on top. So not only that they forgot to bring the stairs, like the stairs did not even exist, but they also you can see right here the dancers are literally running for their lives because they forgot to even show up. How crazy is this? Also, one of the dancers injured herself during last night's show. As you can see right here, she just was doing the ballroom and then this is what happened. Then she posted on her IG story. She did say that she's devastated and that she injured herself. Here's another story from the same dancer. I'm so sorry that this happened to you and I hope you heal well. We also moved the honey bucket pits closer to the stage as a lot of people requested, but now I already see people complaining that they cannot see her when she's right here because they're so close to the stage and the stage is literally 7 feet. So maybe they're gonna raise it now because people complaining still, but I don't know. She was also flying this time around more around the pits, so she did make a lot of changes to set list. Some songs are not in the same place they used to be, and honestly, despite all the mess ups, night 2 definitely clears night 1 as somebody who's been to both and still going to 3.
And again, more information can be found on Igor's TikTok. I'll link that in the description. The fact that he says that this show is still better, the second show is still better than the night 1, and all those changes that she made from night 1 to night 2. If you watch any Beyoncé documentary or more recently her Renaissance film, you see the amount of work and perfection that Beyoncé puts into her shows. So I know as a perfectionist, she was reeling after night 2. But I'm telling you, night 3 is going to be top tier because of that. All right. Speaking of the Beyoncé Cowboy Carter Tour, there is a point in the Cowboy Carter Tour where Beyoncé, there's the image on the Jumbotron where you see Beyoncé walking through Vegas and she picks up the Sphere, the concert venue in Vegas. Well, now the Sphere and the owners of the Sphere in Madison Square Garden have sent Beyoncé a cease and desist. And I say this as someone that has covered all kinds of Beyoncé stuff and is also as someone that enjoys Beyoncé music. But this wouldn't be the first time that Beyoncé has been accused of copyright infringement. That's just a fact, okay? So according to the New York Post, they said Beyoncé got slapped with a cease and desist letter from the attorneys for Madison Square Garden's boss, James Dolan, demanding that she ditch a video for her new global concert tour that depicts her picking up and toying with the Las Vegas Sphere, the Post has learned. In a sharply worded letter, the Divas production company Parkwood Entertainment Kathleen McCarthy of the law firm King and Spalding, which represents Dolan's Sphere Entertainment Group, accused the firm of prominently featuring and manipulating imagery of the Sphere without permission. Again, this wouldn't be the first time that Beyoncé has been accused of using things without permission.
Don't be rude. I'm sorry, what? Don't be rude.
Several social media users who attended her initial set of concerts in Los Angeles last week posted clips showing the video, which depicts a towering hundreds of feet tall Beyoncé striding through the Las Vegas skyline. Beyoncé, many orders of magnitude larger than the Sphere venue, leans over, picks up the venue, and looms over it, McCarthy wrote in the Thursday letter obtained by the Post. Who sent this to the Post? Sphere accused Beyoncé, who has never visited the venue, of impermissible use and violation of the company's intellectual property rights, which has, quote, resulted in significant speculation that Beyoncé will end her tour with a Sphere residency. SEG was never asked, and the prominent appearance and manipulation of SEG's Sphere venue in the video is unauthorized, McCarthy wrote in the letter. Sphere has given Beyoncé a Monday deadline to halt use of the imagery in her videos. If the singer fails to comply, SEG said that it reserves all rights to take further action as SEG deems appropriate without notice. The company is likewise demanding that Parkwood cease and desist from using the Sphere venue in the video immediately, in addition to refraining from using this imagery or on any merchandise, promotional, or marketing materials or in tour movies. Are they insinuating that Beyoncé is coming with a Cowboy Carter film? Just saying. Beyoncé's Cowboy Carter Tour kicked off in Inglewood, California last week, as you know, with multiple dates at SoFi Stadium before heading to major cities, including Chicago, Houston, New York, and London. The global trek will continue through late July, concluding with 2 performances at the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. According to the Post, they said last year the Post reported that Beyoncé's negotiations for a residency at the Sphere collapsed after the venue refused her request to shut down for 2 weeks of rehearsals. The singer's team also sought around $10 million for a high-tech production, similar to what U2 received, further complicating talks, the Post previously reported. Beyoncé was said to be exploring a potential 100-show deal with the rival venue, MGM. The Spear controversy erupted as Beyoncé has struggled to sell out dates for her Cowboy Carter Tour. A glance at Ticketmaster's website shows that there are plenty of good seats available for a scheduled July 25th concert at Allegiant Stadium, which is just 4 miles away from the Spear. So as soon as I saw this report that they had sent her a cease and desist, normally I don't think they would have ignored this because it's great promotion for the Spear. From word on the street, that sort of has struggled to get a lot of people in there. Okay. But I remember the initial rumor that Beyoncé was working on negotiations to have her show at the Sphere. So I think they are being petty in regards to, okay, you were supposed to be a part of our show. And maybe that's when they developed that particular scene where Beyonce's coming through Las Vegas and she picks up the spear. And I think because negotiations fell through, now they're being petty and they're saying that's our intellectual property. Take it out of your show. And again, come Sunday, you won't see it part of her show. If Beyonce's making all kinds of changes within days, please understand this will be taken out of the show imminently. Okay. Even before Monday, you will not see it in Sunday night's show. But like I said, I'm not surprised that they sent her to cease and desist. I think they were just being petty because it fell through in regards to their collaboration and deal. And look, they're not going to benefit from being featured. They do benefit, but again, I think they're being petty. She's not performing at Madison Square Garden. She's not performing at the Sphere. She's performing at a rival place. They're being petty. They're being basically petty. Can I blame them? Would you do something like this? Well, I don't know if I would want to burn a bridge with one of the top artists in the entire world, because although negotiations fell through this time, you never know. In the future, things could open up. But people with money don't care about other people with money. All right. Anyway, guys, as always, I want to know your reaction to what's been going on over there in the Beyonce camp when it comes to that Cowboy Carter tour and the Sphere sending Beyonce a cease and desist. Stop using our intellectual property. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
Here we go now.